and welcome to Tales from the
Tales from the
Shed. And
Shed.
we are talking about Menopause Awareness Day. Do people in menopause need awareness?
Yeah, if you're in menopause, are you aware of it?
Well,
So I mean, some people might not be, but that's enough, yes.
I started this conversation with going, for goodness sake,
Yeah.
and then I just thought, actually, I do see a lot of clients.
You don't know. You don't know you're in menopause.
I think, firstly, it's the weird mental.
Yeah. And apparently, October is Menopause Awareness Month, and then there's Menopause Awareness Day on the 18th of
What happens if you get menopause in November? Do you have to wait a year till someone
Yeah, I
tells
think
you?
so. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, no, you have to have your FSH test and just say, and then you kind of have to hang out. But I think it's just those kind of things when there's an awareness thing, an awareness of it. And are we not aware the rest of the year? That feels a bit weird.
It does feel,
and we're only going to talk about it on Menopause Awareness Day, are we?
Oh, we are. And I think,
and then we feel okay.
A hackneyed phrase is raising awareness.
And
I see people going, I don't know, something awful, something dreadful, like someone got murdered, or there's so many knife crimes in London.
Yeah.
So we're going to raise awareness of it. And you think, oh, I don't know, it becomes such a buzzword, it annoys me. But on the other hand, I do see clients who didn't realize that their symptoms were caused by menopause.
Yeah.
So I think we are sold menopause as physical symptoms,
and only hot flushes and stopping bleeding. Those are kind of the two things that everybody knows about.
Everybody knows about. And also I see so many people that go, I can't be in menopause because I'm still having a regular cycle. And I guess,
and how dare you suggest I'm in menopause?
Oh yes, people are quite affronted because it comes with age. And actually, so a few things, if we're going to be aware, let's have a few things.
Awareness.
Menopause hits between 45 and 55. Usually it's a bell curve, so you're going to have people at this end and people at this end are outliers. The main thrust is between 45 and 55, which is huge. It's huge length of time. So menopause actually is the bit where everything stops.
That's the moment.
It's the moment. It is a moment. So
we're talking about perimenopause, if we're going to be aware.
Actually,
perimenopause.
Yeah, exactly. So perimenopause lasts for about 4 years, and at the beginning of that 4 years, it's very subtle, usually, and then at the end, it's less subtle. There's more awareness of it.
Yes.
Menopause happens when everything ends and it is a moment in time, and then you are postmenopausal.
I know.
So you're peri,
really
post, and one day, like your birthday, it's menopause day.
Not quite like your birthday.
But it's going to happen. So that's an interesting. So you can be looking, even on the normal scale, from about 40, 41, that you can be having perimenopausal symptoms.
Yes. So it's interesting because they say apparently they've listed 35 different symptoms now.
Oh, for God's sake.
Which could have something to do with it. I mean, it's not bad. I think that's probably a better statement than saying, well, I'm not having hot flushes, therefore I can't be in menopause.
I agree, but it's a bit like we are then, it's making it very piecemeal. What we are run by our hormones. And we are, whether we like it or not. Our hormones run every part of our body: temperature, our hunger, our thirst, our hair growth. Everything runs growth by hormones. So when those hormones change, by definition,
everything changes.
So, and then to list us into 39 components, say all of those can change.
But I think that was more. I mean, I actually kind of felt that was quite a useful statement, because when people say this, they kind of go, well, bloody hell, what are they? And then everybody's probably got a different list of their 35 symptoms. But I kind of think it was that one where people said, I didn't know, or there wasn't a realization that it wasn't just physical, that it's emotional, mental, those kind of things. When they said people who lose confidence, who get brain fog, who can't sleep suddenly when they've been able to, all of these other things, who feel, that poor woman who committed suicide because she didn't know that it was it, and she thought it was just going to be like that forever.
I guess
this will end. It will end.
But my next thing on menopause awareness then is, I don't feel myself.
That's probably quite a good one, actually.
Because I normally am sharp as a knife. I normally sleep really well. I normally blah, 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 blah.
I'm normally quite amenable, but now I feel really pissed off with everybody. Yes.
And one of the things I think was I was always cold. I always went out with a jacket and a cardigan in the hottest summer day. I could not do it. I was always cold. And then I suddenly thought, I don't need my jacket at all. And it was just like, I'm sitting outside a pub and I can feel my skin cold, but I don't feel cold. It was an oddest feeling. So it wasn't the hot flashes. It was then it did change gradually into the hot flashes. But I'm saying it's just I don't feel myself. So if you are a bit foggy brained, or you losing confidence driving, or you suddenly feel not yourself, it's very likely to be close. So I still think 39 symptoms is reductive in as a woman, because I'm more than 39 things. So that's the other thing. And the other thing, you just said it ends.
It does end.
And it shouldn't be a painful process. It
should be this one where people talk about, and I've heard doctors say this, oh yes, well, it can go on for 12 or 13 years. No, it shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
That means that you're not balanced. There are things, and then you can do something about it. So the two things that we always talk about is, one, information is power. So if we're talking about being awareness, and that means that you should probably find out about this before, and I always use the example of, you don't have your house on fire and ring up the fire brigade and ask them to come and test your smoke alarm. You just say, come and put it out now. But if you had the information about that and you got them to test the smoke alarm beforehand, you might not have even needed the fire brigade. So information is power. Start thinking about this if you're a woman, probably in your late 30s, with that kind of thing, and think, what works for me? If I'm having something that I don't like, or I've got symptoms, is it kind of this? Is it homeopathy? Is it acupuncture? Is it CBT? Is it running into the sea screaming, which would be me? So all of these different kind of things, and go there first. So when you don't feel yourself, you start with a thing that is proven and that you trust it and that works for you. Yeah.
And I think the other thing is, it's this idea, one, that it ends. It's a really well balanced process. So I see a lot of people on HRT, a lot of women on HRT, not people, women on HRT, that say, I'm doing this because it's so awful and I'm going to be on this. They don't realize
for
the rest of their life. They don't realize that it's a process, that if you find balance, your body goes from one healthy state to another healthy state, whereas they feel that going through menopause makes it a less healthy state. Their bones are going to break, nothing works, their body doesn't sleep, whereas actually during the process,
skin's going to dry up like a prune.
And
sorry guys, that happens anyway.
That happens anyway. But it's the process can be a bit knocking you, but people think the process lasts forever.
No.
And it does if you're out of balance.
So
if you get the right balance, your body just moves through it and you get to the other side, and there's lots you can do for the symptoms.
And it isn't like, well, I tried whatever it is, St. John's wort, and it didn't work, therefore nothing works. So there are many other things that you can try. So I think go into it, well, we talked about curiosity on this before, but go into it with that spirit of curiosity and thinking, okay, so if this is happening, what would I do? Where would the first place I go to start that I know works for me, that's been proven to work? It could be diet, it could be exercise. Those things also come into it, possibly. Whatever you're doing,
it's a symphony of all of it.
Yes.
So there are things that
there isn't one size fits all.
There's EFT that can work, and we could talk about EFT, but EFT can work. Hypnosis can help and work. Things like chiropractic can work.
Yes.
Which is a bit more of the medical end. Then diet and exercise will be part of everything. Homeopathy, herbs, diets and supplements, nutrition. So mix and match, have a look through and have a read. But there's a lot on the market.
What calls to you? What calls to you in that sense? And the other thing, I think, and the main thing is, you don't have to suffer.
Oh no, you don't have to suffer. Your symptoms should be completely manageable if you're in balance, and it's a process. Your body can heal broken bones, and that's quite hard.
I know.
It can heal broken muscle. It can overcome massive bacterial and viral infections. It can do so much. It's going to take you from this place to this place, but we limit it. We don't think, oh, it can grow a new bone. Oh, but it definitely can't do menopause. It doesn't work like that. Your body is hardwired to heal and grow.
Yeah.
And therefore it's a hardwired, getting to the other side of menopause is hardwired into it.
Yeah. And I think the other thing to realize is that, you know, men need to be aware of this, in a sense that it isn't all personality transplant, you know, shouting and screaming, hide all the knives, you know, all of that kind of stuff. Because I think that men, or anybody else actually that you deal with on an everyday basis, can actually be quite useful to reinforce that you're not quite yourself.
Yeah.
You're not quite yourself. And it could be that way. And this, you have to work this out, people. We can't tell you what's right or wrong. But if you notice that about somebody that you live or work with, it might be just that, allowing them to say,
you don't feel yourself.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
You just
is
don't
there anything,
seem a bit like yourself. Is there anything?
The other last, I think it's the last thing, but Alison may have more to say. But it's the way we are dangerously close with menopause awareness to making it a disease. We're giving people loads of time off of work. We're saying you're broken. How can I make you, for the fact that you're broken, well, not even fixed, it's just the fact that you're broken,
plastered together.
Or should we just leave you at home broken, now you can't join? We are not broken. We shouldn't be treating this as a disease or something that needs a permanent fix to. It's kind of like, be supporting. Somebody might be going through a bit of a time where they need a little time out. That's not what I'm saying. But the fact we're now saying menopausal women are almost not able to work, but we're going to
function.
They can't function, so we're going to employ them anyway, so they don't feel bad. And if they no, why don't we have menopause awareness by having these 10 different practitioners in a workplace, so women have access to which one will enable them to still feel they can function in society well, as opposed to adapting society to make it that we can have dysfunctional people in it.
Yeah, and I kind of always say, you know, well, people have been having menopause for centuries before we had HRT, so that's that thing. And I feel that the danger of that, and we have talked about this in terms of HRT, is that when you medicalize it, and people do talk about it as when you get a diagnosis of menopause, then you can get treatment. And we're saying you don't need a diagnosis of menopause. That's not what it is, because it is not an illness. It is a process, one healthy state to another healthy state. So be aware of it. Know what works for you. Don't go and, well, I mean, no, do you know what? If you want to go to the doctor, that's fine. That's up to you. And I'm not going to say don't do that. But they are not the people who know you like you know you. So go and take that information and say, okay, so they would suggest this. That's interesting. Do I want to do that? Do I not want to do that? What are the other things that work for me? So relate it all to yourself.
And I'm just reaching over here.
Oh, right. She's going to do her book. The book.
There is a book. Ireland's right. But it's a user's, it's supposed to be a self-help book. It's not another book to give you another 39 symptoms. It says, if you have this, and at the end of each chapter that talks about it, it explains
Here
why.
are a menu of things.
And there's a menu of things at the end of each chapter that is trying to make people batch flower remedies, hypnosis, loads of stuff, lots and lots of different things that you can try, but don't treat it as an illness.
Yeah. Okay. So we hope you're aware now.